Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on another edition of LePage Binder Live. My name is Bumanlag, and this is our weekly show where we check in with our realtors, our brokers, our salespeople right across Windsor and Essex County with all the various locations to service you in the region. Happy to break down the real estate industry and share some stories from the front lines of real estate as we continue through 2021. Very happy to welcome a couple of gentlemen on the show with us today. Coming to us live is the Armstrong Home Team. We have Alex and Brian Armstrong who are joining us here on LePage Live. Gentlemen, good to see you, and thank you so much for joining the show today.
Thank you, Arms. It's great to see you. So, you're such a positive person. It's always good to see you and talk to you.
Oh, God bless you, Brian. I appreciate that. And, we were saying just before we went live here, positivity and supporting each other through the last year, I think has been so crucial in the community, but also supporting each other when it comes to, servicing folks and making sure that we're able to help them. And I mean, you talk about helping folks. That's really the essence of real estate for the two of you. I know for the Armstrong Home Team, but really real estate is in your blood, right? This is in your DNA.
Yeah, my dad was a realtor, Arms, so he's retired now for decades. But and then Alex, my oldest son, he's kind of third generation. So yeah, we kind of feel that way. We have a need to help people. Truthfully, is what it is. It's our nature, and we love doing it.
So you're able to work in that sort of father-son dynamic, right? I mean, that's sort of something where I think Alex, you can learn from your dad, and then Brian, you can sort of pivot and learn some of the newer things that are maybe coming down the pipe, but that kind of serves you well, I guess, for the home team.
It's a huge positive. Like, real estate's an extremely complex industry, and there's not just, one aspect of it. There's that residential market, that resale market, and then within it, there's new builds, there's farm properties, there's businesses that need to be sold, and having, somebody with the experience that Dad does, it really, is nice to be able to just pick up that phone and have an answer to any questions that you have.
What's interesting about this too, gentlemen, is the fact that, because you have those decades upon decades of experience within the family, you primarily service, from what I understand, new builds and resale residential and the agricultural sector too. So you've got that, wide range of all the different types of homes, different types of properties in those specific categories. And I'm thinking it's got to be at least like thousands of transactions over the years, right, Brian?
It has, yeah, absolutely has. You are correct there, and yeah, part of the reason why I used to farm. My dad side of the family, they're all farmers, so he actually used to deal in Ford tractors, equipment sales there. So that's kind of what happened with that. And because we have a lot of connections with landowners, we do get involved with developing and therefore the new construction aspects. So, and of course, a lot of people, they have another home that they need sold, so we can help them with that, with the existing one to get the move done for them.
How did you get started in real estate? You said that your dad, Brian, was in the business too, but let's talk about sort of maybe that full renovation, right? In Essex, that was kind of your first kick at the can.
Yes, it was. Yeah, like I say, we farmed, but he was also a realtor. So when I got, of age, where I got to have a license, I said, right out of high school, I said, I think I'll try that. I'll follow my dad's footsteps. He's a very good guy, so it was a nice transition to be able to do that. And I said, if I don't, doesn't fit me, then I'm still young. I can also maybe an accountant is what I was possibly going to do, Arms. So, but it fit me. It really did. I love helping people. It's something that I get great enjoyment from, and when I can help them the way that Alex and I can help them, he helps me a lot as well with all the technology anymore. So, but when we can do that as a combined as a team, it really works well for our clients.
And then when you talk about sort of expanding that repertoire of where you've been from that initial renovating of a mobile home in Essex, you've been involved in a number of new build developments over the years too, Brian. Could you talk about some of those, especially in the town of Essex?
Yes. Well, we've done several, some single detached, but I forget how many years ago now, Arms. It's decades, but Essex, we did the first townhomes. We had to get property zoned. They didn't even have bylaws in the official plans. So we went worked with the town on that, and they were great to work with, to tell you the honest truth as well. So and we were off and running on that first townhome project in Essex, and we've continued, got another one going right now. We're trying to help some people out in Cottam get
Oh, nice.
going. So yeah, it's something that I went to school in all these areas, Essex High School, actually J.C. Montgomery. A lot of people don't remember it from Cotton, but 2 years there, back to grade 2 and grade 3. So, but then Gosfield North as well. So Woodsley area, we're from all around there.
So you've got a good feel of what Essex County has been, where it's at currently, and from both of your vantage points, being in the market, how do you feel about the future? Especially, I mean, we've talked so much about on this show, and certainly with Royal LePage Live as a whole, through Ask the Experts and with some of our preferred vendors about the future of Windsor. How do you two feel about Windsor and Essex County as a whole as we march forward over the next 10 years?
I'm going to let Alex take this one because he is the future, to tell you the honest truth. I'm going to keep doing this, of course, but he's going to do it longer than I am. And like I say, he is on top of everything, to tell you the honest truth. I'm very proud of him. So.
I think Windsor Essex County has a really positive looking future. A lot of the people that I've worked with is not only folks my age, right, that are able to stay in the area as opposed to going out west, like what it was maybe 7-8 years ago. They're able to stay in the area, get good jobs, purchase a home, start a family, do the things that we want to do, as well as there's a lot of other folks that have recognized throughout the province that Windsor Essex really does have a lot to offer, whether it's all the shoreline that we've got, whether, it's the actual weather that we have, the temperature. They found it to be a really nice place to come and, settle down and spend their golden years in.
Yeah, it's interesting too when you get to see sort of the, I guess, changes that are happening. Like I'm fortunate enough. Last time I was at the provincial road location, I was doing some running around into the Walkerville area, and I'm going down Walker Road, and I got to see some of the townhouses that are coming up on Walker
Sure.
Road. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm a Windsor guy myself. I'm born and raised. We're out here in the Burg now, my wife and my son and I. But I'm thinking, wow, it's just really nice to see that kind of investment. Right, like in terms of those type of homes, and then I keep mentioning on the show, I was amazed when I was out at Manning Road to see some of the development that's out there too, even from a commercial lens, because it seems like there's going to be a big influx of folks who I think as we are residents, we all kind of know what's happening, but to see that kind of pour in from outside of town to come into this area, it's really interesting to see how that's going to be over the next little bit as well. So the Armstrong Home Team is my guest on the show today. You can find out more information on them. It's easy to go to their website. It's royallepagebinder.com. And, when I was just saying there a few minutes ago, you can also see the fact that everyone has sort of geared up for this influx of people. So I think from your vantage point, Brian, to see, all these, condos and apartment buildings going up, that's a good sign for the area. We're getting more people in.
It's a great sign. Like Windsor Essex County area is on the map. I mean, we have been doing the last decade better than most of the rest of Canada. I mean, we have so many people coming into our area. We are so diverse culturally, which is great. I mean, it's fantastic because we get to experience a lot of customs and other countries really without having to leave the area. So, but one of the things that you talked about is all the development, not just residential, it's commercial. But I know one of the other things I've said for decades, the University of Windsor has been a huge contributing factor to why people have recognized Windsor Essex County. But St. Clair College has just been doing a great job as well lately. And I don't know if you saw this week, they made an announcement that we are actually, St. Clair College is going to get the largest e-sport building in Canada. It's going to be a great feature to that college. So, and maybe people don't know what esports is, but basically it's it's all online, it's all electronic stuff. Right? So they're maybe not running around per se, but
sure.
They probably do work up a bit of a sweat sometimes with their control.
It's funny. Like esports is like essentially it's video game sports, right?
Yeah.
And I Alex, I don't know if you're like me, but growing up in the '80s, it's like if I would have known that I could have gone to college to play video games, I'd be in a very different career path here in 2021 and make good money at it too.
There's a lot of us that tried it, but very few that have worked out for it. Right?
Yeah,
when I was Yeah, that's right. Right. Like when I was doing the media stuff, I remember covering some stories on that, and I just saw the program at St. Clair College covering some of the athletes that are going through, and they are right. They train for this thing, but just doing some research on it, they're making big money. So that's awesome that we're leading the way in that
It is.
perspective as well.
It is.
On the flip side of the coin too, as a father-son duo doing real estate, what would you say is your number one joy when you get to deal with clients and you're buying and selling properties and homes for them? And Alex, I'll start with you on that one. What do you find the most joy in that whole process?
I think there's two parts. The first of it is meeting the clients and learning about them, learning their story, and figuring out how best we can help them, how best to plan the journey to achieve what they want to achieve, and then the end result, right? Whether it's them getting the keys to their first home that they're going to go and raise their kids in, or whether it's them coming down and I've got some folks that are going to retire on the water. Right. And that's been a big dream for them for decades. I can't even imagine, taking 30 years to, plan for something and then being a part of that at the end to, help them.
Brian, what about you? What's your biggest joy when you're working with clients?
Truthfully, I got a bit of a soft heart, when they're a family. And I mean, I love working with a couple of couples that are just engaged right now. Probably will have family, later on. So, but it's huge. I do anything for children. Like we were talking before about your child, their arms. We have to help them any way we can. So when I can put family into the right house, and I know during COVID it's been difficult, but we're kind of coming out of that now. But we put them in the right house, and they're so happy. They are so happy, and the kids. Even if they're 3-4 years old, they come over. I'm a little taller, so they want to hug your leg, right? It's a great feeling. Honestly, I can't tell you that I can find a better feeling when we're able to accomplish that. Like Alex said, when we can help them with their start for the future, and then also their dream that has been for decades. It's a huge honor. Like we say, we love our job because of that.
This is episode 10, LePage Binder Live. My name is Arms Bumanlag, talking with Brian and Alex Armstrong from the Armstrong Home Team. Happy to have them both on the program today. We're kind of diving deeper into real estate and getting to know our brokers and our realtors and really everyone in the LePage Binder family. A dream for a lot of folks is hitting the links and playing golf. And I know you are very, adamant about hitting the links when you can, Brian, right? And you're a pretty big golfer as well.
When I can, when I can concentrate, I can play the sport, I guess. But I kind of always say, we're in the golf stuff, right? It's the emergency uniform, right? So
sure.
In case it's calling, but my clients come first, obviously. So, but when I can.
And it's great because this area too, for people who are looking for a place to settle in that has that golf experience. I mean, I don't think there's better than Essex County when it comes to Essex Golf and Country Club. You talk about Seven Lakes Golf Course too. I mean, it's like world-class golf facilities and golf courses right here in Windsor, Essex.
And even Ambassador right now, it's kind of a link style, right, with the Open going on over in England right now. So it's we've got a very diverse area for different golf courses, and we absolutely have some great ones. Kingsville is fantastic as well because it's got the undulation that we don't experience a whole lot otherwise.
So just before we wrap up the show, gentlemen, I want to talk to you about LePage Binder and working with Frank Binder and the team. We'll start with Brian and your experience working with LePage and Frank and everyone on the crew. Well,
that might take a while for me to talk about all that, Arms. I think it's the best. And there's a lot of good things to say about it. So, but I guess what I usually do say, and I absolutely mean it. Like anything I say, I always mean it. So, but I've had two broker owners in my day. One was my dad, and then when he retired, I came over to LePage Binder Real Estate, and Frank is that second broker owner. I think of them both the same. He is that good a guy. Binders have a big family, and we here, and you're part of it, Arms, now, which is great. Welcome. But I've always said, the 150 of us here, we're brothers and sisters. We're the LePage Binder Real Estate family. That's truly the way that Frank's vibe is, and that's truly the way that I feel about it. So I'm very honored to be here, and I'll let Alex talk a little bit more about the technology and how Frank. He is so progressive. He doesn't stay complacent. He is always striving to do better. So,
and that's big too, Alex. Right? Is having that cutting edge and sort of learning as you go. Right? Learning is a never-ending process.
Well, and it goes both ways. Like one of the nice things about Frank is he's a very approachable individual, and he's very smart as well. So even though I'm from a younger generation, right? I can learn a lot of things from Frank, just as he can learn some things from us as well. And I always appreciate the fact that he's willing to take the time to sit down and fully listen to you. He doesn't just give you the that sounds great, and nothing ever happens.
He doesn't brush you off.
Yeah, he really does consider what you're saying and is willing to put time and energy to implement it.
And I think that's so crucial. That is so crucial too, right? To hear, from the folks who are sort of on the ground, right? Is, what are we doing? What are we doing? What could we do better? And, kind of, have that feedback that goes up the chain.
Yeah. And I should also say, Arms, like I say, we're a big family here, and our administrative staff here, Carol and Jada and Monique, and I could go on and on and on. Michelle at Namsburg, where you're out. They're all awesome. They really are. I've been here for decades, and they are so helpful. They're always receptive. And yes, we bring them treats. Alex and I, we bake them cookies. We make them cheesecake. They appreciate it, but that's the way it should be. A family helps each other as well. So.
And they take great care of us too.
100%.
Yeah.
Can't do our jobs without them. So.
Well, God bless you guys. I appreciate finally meeting face-to-face, virtually at least. Looking forward to meet you in person. And I want you to keep up the great work. I mean, judging by, some of the feedback that we've seen on social media for you guys and, just the vibe out in the community, you guys are doing great work. So thanks for being a part of the Royal LePage Binder family. And thanks for joining me on the show today.
We appreciate you. Yeah. All the best to you too, Arms.
We appreciate it. That is Brian and Alex Armstrong from the Armstrong Home Team. Great guys to deal with. And they are available for you. You can go to royallepagebinder.com to get more details on them and experience the Royal LePage Binder difference here in Windsor, Essex County. So thanks to everybody watching the program today. We're back again next week with another fantastic member of the Royal LePage Binder team. We've got brokerages right across Windsor and Essex County and some great info and insight on what's happening in the market and some info on what you need to know when it comes to real estate. Thanks for watching. Have a great next couple of days, and we'll see you back here next week.